What is up, everybody? How's it going? Ryan here, back with you again for episode number 30. Can't believe it's already been 30 episodes of the Morning Coffee. Welcome, guys. Evening, morning, afternoon. Hope that your commute to works are going well, and I hope that you're ready to hear some gaming news. Before we really dive into it, as always, though, let's get rid of some announcements and get all that stuff out of the way. So first up, we are on Spotify and iTunes. Most of you guys probably do know that, but keep that in mind that we are on there. If you guys would like to, you can go check out the episode description to find out where you can go and listen to those episodes. And then remember to follow and sub. Next announcement, apologize that there was no episode this past Tuesday on March 14th, or sorry, that's today, on March 12th, 2014. The reason being is there was just not enough news, and because of that, I ended up just pushing back the episode and not having it. This is kind of an easy way for me to also plug my Twitch channel, though, as well. If you guys are on audio or YouTube or wherever you guys might be listening to us, I did end up still stream that day. It was still morning coffee, but we just had no news. We played some games and just kind of chatted about random stuff on stream. So if you guys ever want to just swing on by, even though there isn't any morning coffee, that would be cool too, because we still did stream. If there's no news, we still do stream. And yeah, you should go check that out. That's twitch.tv/Ryan Kubo, RYANKUBO, if you ever want to go and listen and hang out there. But yeah, let's just jump right into the articles. These are the articles for March 14th, 2019. I'm drinking some coffee here from actually 7-Eleven. Because, I don't know, I wanted to treat myself. So a little, something finally different. I can actually finally report on my coffee drinking-ish. But yeah, first article of the day, more Hearthstone teasers / leaks and all that stuff. Now, if you guys haven't been keeping up with them, we talked about in the last episode, kind of a follow-up to that. Hearthstone has been leaking these 50-second to 2-minute little trailers here with basically a character from Whisper of the Old Gods coming out and saying that she's kind of trying to assemble an evil crew or something, people that are trying to break out of prison, and she's kind of brought back a lot of older people from, I guess, villains, I guess, from the Hearthstone lore. Right now, they had one about the witch, which is technically the latest one, but I will say there is a leak that happened earlier where it shows that Rafan from League of Explorers is also there as well as the last hero. So if you guys didn't know, it is pretty much the witch, or I guess the fortune teller, I guess you would call her, from Whispers of the Old Gods. It's Hagatha, the shaman or the witch, which is just announced. It's Rafam as well, which is from League of Explorers. He will be kind of shown in probably the next show, whenever that ends up coming out. King Togwaggle as well from Kobolds and Catacombs, and then Dr. Boom from the Boomsday Project. Remember that this year as well, they've kind of said that they wanted all the stories to be interconnected, so we'll see what ends up happening, but it does look like they've somehow all escaped, and maybe they're releasing other minions and stuff as well. The release schedule for these teasers has been kind of weird. But it does seem like they've been releasing 1 or 2 of them every week, and it seems to be on like a Tuesday, Thursday type of basis when this show also records. The last teaser trailer, which is for Rafam, is most likely going to be released later today, and then we're looking at probably an actual expansion announcement next Tuesday or Thursday, unfortunately, from what it looks like, even though there's been a ton of spoilers and leaks for the game or the next expansion / the game as well. And we're looking at probably around the 2nd or 3rd week of April for the game to be released. So it's definitely coming, but they're teasing a bunch of stuff. If we have like some beep breaking news or something like that later on in this episode, we will definitely talk about it and probably watch it on the podcast. But yeah, obviously, new expansion is coming. When is it going to come out? We don't know, but hopefully it comes out fairly soon. So, yeah. Coming up next in the episode as well, EA reportedly paid Ninja $1 million to stream Apex Legends. So, yeah. This is actually pretty crazy. But if you guys didn't know, and if you're not really known to Twitch or whatever, they do pay streamers, or video game companies will pay streamers to stream on their platform. That's just how it is, and stream their game, etc. And it looks like EA paid Ninja $1 million to stream Apex Legends for a little bit or whatever. So it said that an EA spokesperson said that any streamed gameplay after midday on February 5th was completely organic. That is, they wanted to keep playing. He acknowledges seeing him, blah, blah, blah. So basically what it is that if you guys didn't know or whatever, Apex Legends was a free-to-play battle royale game that basically, when it launched, they said it's actually free today. Whoa, PogChamp. And it was actually released on February 4th. And so from February 4th to midday on February 5th was when streamers had to get in a certain amount of hours. A lot of these contracts have it so that streamers have to stream a certain amount of time, etc., etc. And yeah, he ended up streaming until like about February 5th midday. Anything after that he could continue doing, but he was paid about $1 million for this. Now, if you guys think this is crazy and that this is a lot of money, to be honest, from EA or from any advertisement company, this is actually, it is a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but in the grand scheme of things and in the big picture of things, this is actually a pretty small amount, considering that they usually do normal like brick and mortar billboard advertisements, etc., etc. And to be able to lock in one of the highest streamers ever, you can imagine how much other streamers were making it. You know, Battlefield 5 was released and all that stuff, or Battlefield 1 and all those games. They also do sponsored streams as well. And so it's kind of just interesting how much money that these people end up making. Most likely, a ton. And it shows the longevity of pretty much just streaming and streaming careers and something beyond it. It's kind of the reason why you'll see a lot of streamers, they might not have donation or follower alerts or sub alerts or push for any of that stuff, but they'll do sponsored streams whenever they can, right? Because they pay really well, and it's basically just paid form of advertisement, right, with your audience. So no surprise there that advertisement sponsors are going to be coming into Twitch, and we're going to see a lot more of that, especially with the Twitch boards as well. You're even seeing a lot of people just like paying Twitch streamers for like halfway through their stream, they end up playing a movie ad or something, right? They tell their stream, hey, if you guys could stick around, we're going to watch like a movie ad together. It looks pretty sick. And then they all watch it together to kind of build up and draw up some hype as well. So kind of just the article talking about just the importance and the growth and stuff like that it comes to streaming, and where the market is probably going to go to. But it is a ton of money for a streamer to get for sure, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's not actually that big in my opinion. Next up, Overwatch healer Baptiste debuts on March 19th. This is something that we're like kept trying to guess over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and we didn't know. And finally, we have a confirmation date on the new support hero that is coming to Overwatch, which is Baptiste, who is a medic. He looks exactly like Lifeline from Apex Legends, which I think is kind of funny. But he will debate on March 19th. They announced it on a Twitter tweet that came out yesterday around 1 p.m. on the official Twitter Play Overwatch, that he will be out March 19th. His full name is John Baptiste Augustine, and he's an ex-Talon medic who fled to Haiti. And yeah. He now works for, I guess, Overwatch or whatever. So, pretty cool character. Has like an AoE grenade stuff and a bunch of other healing type of stuff that you can mess around with. I'm not really professional at Overwatch. I did dabble in it a little bit and played him for a bit, but I don't want to misrepresent the character. Definitely something that I'll check out, most likely play on stream once he gets out into the live servers, just to play with them. As you guys may or may not know, I am a pretty big support player in most of these team-based games. Next up, Dwarf Fortress, the rogue game that's been going for 16 years, is coming to Steam. This is pretty cool. If you guys didn't know or whatever, Dwarf Fortress is this... I don't really even know how to say it. But it's pretty much been just kind of this, I guess, simulation of a game. Where essentially it's been around for years, 16 years, developed by these two guys or whatever. But it's partly a management sim, partly a rogue game or whatever. It's been continuously updated since 2002 or whatever, and yeah, it had its official release in 2006. But the game is pretty interesting in the sense that you're put into a world with like a bunch of lore and history of like type of medieval type of stuff, and you have to sustain yourself through trade and all this stuff. So you can choose what to be one thing. You can be an adventurer who kind of wanders this land from a top-down view. Think of it kind of like a rim world type of gameplay, and you can sustain yourself through whatever means because you're an adventurer. Or you can also become a leader or a warlord of a castle within this world, and you need to sustain yourself through trade and warfare with neighboring stuff. So it's actually kind of interesting. So yeah, and its mechanics are super hard, right? It's not a simple or easy or straightforward game, and I think that's why it kind of has a cult-like following. The graphics have always been kind of interesting and stuff like that, but they announced today, or I should say yesterday, that the game will be coming to Steam. Now, if you guys didn't know, the game is a free download off of their official website where that was the only place you can actually get the game. But they will be having a actual download on Steam. Now, just to let you guys know, the release date for the Steam version, it's not known. At the same time, it is not going to be free. It is going to cost something. They haven't announced pricing and stuff like that, but it's something probably that a lot of people will check in on and stuff. Personally, I really like this. I'd probably be willing to pay them for the game. I remember playing it in 2007, 2008, and it has changed a lot since then. It has some pretty big and cool updates going on. And yeah, you guys should definitely check it out. It's a free game that you can download, obviously with donations. When the actual game comes to Steam, I'll definitely be buying it because it will just kind of like show support and stuff like that as well. But yeah, they said that the two-person team to support themselves through long-term development. They said rising personal healthcare costs and the uncertainty of the Patreon platform, which they have an official Patreon. But they're not sure what is happening because there's been some controversy with Patreon. The developers decided to bring in another source of income. The game will still be available for download from the official Bay 12 site or their site for free, but the new Steam version will cost you some cash. How much is currently unknown. The nice thing about paying for the Steam version is that you get access to the Steam Workshop feature with player-created mods. So, yeah, I hope them well. It is a very cool game. It is a very, very complicated game. It is definitely something that I think would be on top of, like, Stellaris, maybe, or just kind of any of these very complicated, arbitrary type of games or whatever. It's definitely not something that is like, oh, you can just kind of jump into and understand what is going on, but it can feel very, very rewarding, I guess, in a sense, when you do kind of figure this out. I believe it's also only single player only. Keep in mind that the single player, or it's only a single player game as well, and it is and I don't think it's going to change. But with the Steam version, you will be able to buy and get Steam mods as well. So I'm kind of showing it on stream, and it's kind of hard to show you like what the game really looks like or whatever. But I mean, it looks like a bunch of just like coding and stuff like that that's like on the screen or whatever. So it definitely reminds me of just kind of like a visual mud as well, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, there's a ton of wikis and stuff if you ever want to check it out. But yeah, super fun game. Super. I just think it's a very solid game, and I'm really glad to see them eventually and soon, hopefully, coming to Steam. So I wish them well. It's definitely something that we will check out and play on and off stream over here because I did really enjoy the game. It's probably something I'm going to install very soon too and check out as well. So yeah, go check it out. If you guys have any more information, you can check out the show notes. There is links down there below as well for you guys to check it out and download the game as well. Second to last article for today. Player Unknown's Battleground loses Players Unknown. If you don't know who Player Unknown is, or if you don't know why the game was ever called Players Unknown Battleground, well, now you know. It's because the person who created PUBG is named Player Unknowns, right? That's why it's called Player Unknowns apostrophe S Battlegrounds. That was his handle, but his real name is Brandon Green. He is actually leaving PUBG in a sense. Still going to be in the PUBG type of circuit. Kind of weird how it's explained or whatever, but essentially the way they said it was that the person, Brandon Player Unknown Green, is leaving PUBG to work on a new division within PUBG Corporation. He's moving to Amsterdam from Seoul to lead PUBG special projects, though still retains some ties to his namesake game, on which he'll be consulting creative director. Says that the task was exploring, experimenting, creating new technology, tools, pipeline, and gameplay. But for me, it's more than that, he told Eurogamer. Together with a team of game developers and researchers, we will explore new possibilities of interaction and connections within the game space. It's very like wordy and very like business wordy. It doesn't really give out what he's saying, but basically, I don't even. It's weird because he's still within the PUBG Corporation, but it sounds like he's basically just opening up a new game studio and possibly just like experimenting with other games that Bluehole could create for him. They've passed leadership down to another creative person there from Korea. So the game is pretty much very heavily marketed toward the Asian community, in my opinion. At this point, he said that they noted the past 5 years of my life has been all about battle royale. He helped usher in the battle royale when he released the Arma 2 mod, Daisy Battle Royale, which led to the creation of PUBG. The game found immense popularity when it was released in 2007, and it helped pave the way for other successful battle royale games, including current Kingpin Fortnite, Blackout, and Apex Legends. So definitely cool to see him going on and working on other things, and that he'll be a creative consultant, etc. Hopefully he does well, and we'll see what his next game is like. But I guess it's going to be kind of weird that technically PUBG will not have PUBG as their main spearheader anymore. But hope everything goes well with him. Lastly, this is kind of cool for me and for a lot of other players that loved Halo, but the Master Chief Collection is back, and it's headed to Steam, which is really, really cool. If you guys didn't know, the Master Chief Collection was a compilation that came out a few years ago, but only on Xbox, that had Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus ODST and Reach, and everything was in 4K and stuff like that, ran at 60 frames per second, etc. But yeah, it was only on Xbox, and so now it will be coming to PC via Steam or the Microsoft Shop directly, and it will. They said that 343 have been patching it consistently since launch, and it sounds like PC will have some extra icing on the cake. They said that it will also have Halo Reach on it, so it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to play some Halo 2 on my PC again and wreck some people. Definitely, since like I want to say maybe a year ago at this point, I did play like a modded version of Halo on my PC that I really, really enjoyed. And unfortunately, that community was like very small and ended up just kind of like dying and fizzling out, unfortunately. But now it will be very interesting to see them come out with this game again and be on Steam. It looks like it will be really, really fun and really, really good. But yeah, guys, that is it for this morning's episode of The Morning Coffee. Just want to take a little bit of time and say thank you guys for all the support you've had in this podcast. It's been very fun to just talk about what I love to talk about, which is video games, kind of give people information. I love that it's in bite size and very quick videos too as well. That way that you guys can just listen to it on the car ride home or a car ride to work or whatever, and just kind of keep up with me with a bunch of news. It's been pretty crazy that we've had about 30 episodes so far, and I don't plan on stopping really anytime soon, but we don't really know where the future will hold. If my job takes more precedence where I need to not be streaming or recording it in the morning, it might be a thing where, eventually we'll figure it out. It will definitely be in some form or still around for a good while, or for at least a foreseeable future for now. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. As always, though, you can follow us on Spotify and iTunes. Links are in the episode description down below. You can also follow us on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Kubo. That is RyanKubo. You can check us out there. And you can also follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/SHIGEOS Twitch TV. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will catch you guys next Tuesday with another episode of The Morning Coffee. Take care, guys. Peace.